going to be talking to you guys about the news, conversation, information. Don't miss it. Spread the word.
It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. The story coming out of one Valley neighborhood of the home that was destroyed, and now neighbors are stepping forward to share their stories. Imagine, by the way, we watched this whole thing unfold live yesterday, and firefighters were up on that roof. It seemed like such a dangerous situation. Well, now we find out that neighbors were doing everything they could to stop this fire from exploding in size. And you're going to hear from some of them coming up in the next couple of minutes here on FTT. Also today, this story of this shopkeeper who can just tell when a lady and the guy she's with, something doesn't look right, and she comes up to him. He's the shopkeeper there, and basically mouths the words that she needs help, like right now. I mean, she's in a desperate situation and is urging the guy as quietly as possible to call 911. It's quite a story. And then one of the largest nuggets of gold you're ever going to see. You know, Celeste, gold I think is running over $4,000, close to $4,500 per ounce. Wow. I don't even have the brain power to do the math. At $4,500 an ounce, and this is a 26-pound nugget, a golden nugget, that was seen in the valley. Good morning, Celeste.
Good morning, Ron. Mm-hmm. Yes. I've got two mics now to make sure they work. Okay, there we go.
Very good. Okay. And then we're getting a lot of buzz about the Great American Story. I mean, people are watching these episodes now from all over the world, thousands and thousands of views. We're counting down the 10 biggest stories in American history, and we've got a preview of 2 of them for you today. In the meantime, Celeste, looks like you had a great show this morning, 7 to 10. You sure you got another hour in you?
You want to go 3?
Sure.
I'll take your 1 and I'll up you 3, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Celeste, whatever you got, that's for sure.
Here's the thing is that we have so many different breaking news stories that are happening, not just in Phoenix, but around the world. Yeah. And we also have great stories of courage and bravery. And I think as we embark on Memorial Day weekend, you know, we've been honoring our military heroes in AZAM all through the month of May. It has been. So we have a lot of great content for you. It's not just breaking news and what's happening now, but it's the lighter stuff, the slice of life that'll bring a smile to your face.
And I just thought this interview, I asked Jeff to clip just a little bit of it. If you didn't see it, it was around 7 o'clock. Or no, it was somewhere around 8 o'clock this morning. The local lady on Fear Factor.
Oh, yes.
Holy cow, what they're putting her through.
So we chatted with her live this morning, and she, it's quite the ordeal, but she had a great kind of like life lesson to inspire you and go, you know what, you can do anything you're scared of too.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, she faces her fears. It's really amazing. Now, let's talk about this fire yesterday. By the way, Celeste, we have these ground images now, and of course, yesterday morning we were showing you how it looked from above. I mean, Sky Fox, the timing with Sky Fox, how they just got up there right kind of at the exact right moment as this massive firefight was underway. You know, we saw them still kind of bringing out the hoses. Well, there were other people that live right in that area who, as you can imagine, were really concerned about their next door neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the one hand, you're concerned about your own house not catching fire. It all depends on which way the wind is blowing. But some of them have been speaking about what they were doing in those crucial moments before the fire exploded in size.
It was exploding. The house was exploding in the fire. We tried to turn it off with the hose, but the flames were too big, too extreme. We're neighbors, you know. That's what neighbors do. We went inside the house. We knocked the door and we checked if someone was inside. Nobody was in there. No pets, no nothing.
Our crews got here within just a couple of minutes, and they gained fire control within just a couple of minutes again. There was a large fire in the whole attic space. You can see where in the carport area. I don't know if it started on the exterior, went inside. Again, that's going to be determined by the investigators.
Wow. Okay, so one more time. Got a bunch of heroes to salute in this, including those firefighters who were both on the roof and others who were ready to attack it from every angle. But then also, like the one guy said, this is what neighbors do.
Yes.
Imagine you're seeing the smoke or you're hearing the crackling of the fire, and it's your next door neighbor's house is on fire. I mean, it's really heartwarming, honestly, to see what was going on out there.
Well, and I think when the video that you're looking at right here, those firefighters, they were on the roof, you know, trying to fight the fire, and then they were like, oh no, we gotta head back down, and you know, the house, a total loss, 5 people now looking for a new place to live, but fortunately no one was home, and they have their lives still, you know.
Yeah, well, we got this other story, Celeste. To me, this is, I mean, it almost sends a chill up your spine, but a domestic violence suspect was shot by police in Glendale. Happened at a pawn shop, 63rd Avenue and Bell Road. Pretty nice area. Officers say the guy was in there trying to buy a gun, but when the shopkeeper saw the lady, he could just tell there was something not right. She apparently had a pretty good sized cut on her hand, and she goes up to him, I guess while the guy, I don't know if it's a boyfriend or whatever, wasn't looking, and she mouthed the words, "Call 911."
Unbelievable.
So, sure enough, think about this. The guy then has to quickly and quietly call 911, and now you don't know how long it's going to take police to get there, but I bet they got there really fast. And because the guy, the suspect in this whole thing, and the lady were both in the store still, and the police come in. They order the guy to, he had a knife. He pulled out a knife. They told him drop it, and he stupidly did not. So, you know, if you're in a situation that the officers just arrived, they're very well aware it could be life or death for the woman who's the victim here. They open fire when the guy's not following their commands. The guy was taken to the hospital. Looks like he'll live. And the lady...
Unbelievable, though. It really is remarkable that the person she mouthed those words to, they actually listened. And they probably thought, you know, okay, all right, I'll call 911. Like, yeah, let's do it. And, you know, that person did a great job.
Yeah,
it's a good Samaritan for you.
All right, so I'm fascinated, Celeste, by this story of this golden nugget.
Yeah, it's huge.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have seen it.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
It's enormous.
Now, this is all happening just yesterday here in the Valley. Apparently, this nugget has been like under wraps. I mean, when we say nugget, I think of like a chicken muck nugget.
Yeah, or like a
3 ounces
Chick-fil-A nugget.
This thing is 26 pounds. Ready? All right, here we go.
People come in and look at it and get all excited and fall on the floor. We've had some of those reactions. Some reactions have been, well, it's not as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be much bigger. A lot of natural gold nuggets are found with a mix of quartz and copper and different other minerals, but this has mainly mostly gold and quartz.
Look at this. Oh, they call it the boot of Cortez.
I thought it looked like a mermaid, like from the side. You know,
really?
like the bottom portion is kind of like
I
a
see
tail.
Her fin. That's her fins
Yeah, like her
down
fins
there.
down the bottom.
Uh-huh.
But how remarkable to be able to find something like this. 26 pounds. What would you do with that, Ron?
I would turn it right into the local pawn shop and walk away with. I mean, okay, so can we do the math on this? If it's $4,500 an ounce, and then you multiply that times 16 ounces per pound, so you're good. You're just going to do it on the computer.
Well, I was just looking at a pound of pure gold is worth about $66,000.
Okay,
that's
so
a pound.
Times 26.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to be over $1 million.
Yeah,
right?
which is that's where he says it's going to start. He says the auction will begin at $1 million.
Yeah.
When it was sold in 2008, it pulled in more than $1.3 million.
Oh boy!
And so this
it's
EJ's
gonna get a
auction,
lot
I
more.
got to tell you, they have so many cool things. We've been out there many times live.
Yeah.
They've got the cool watch. Ron, you're a watch guy. They probably have some cool watches there for you.
I could put my whole watch collection on sale. I can't imagine the millions, Celeste, that it would go for.
Okay, so that would be 66,000 times 26
Yeah.
would be 1,716,000.
And that's just if it was just a gold bar. But
Right.
it's so historic. You know, this is the largest nugget of gold ever found in the Western Hemisphere. Not just in the U.S., it was actually found in Mexico. And it hasn't even been seen in public for 20 years. And yesterday they debuted it. The auction is going to be next month. And like you said, it's probably going to go for a lot more than what it did last time. All right, let's get to the lady, Celeste, who you guys had on your show. This is amazing. So, basically she goes on to Fear Factor, Tatum Beck.
Yes.
Scottsdale. And you guys were asking all the right questions. Ready? All right, here we go.
This is absolutely insane, and honestly, it was the craziest experience. I'm not going to say too much about tonight's episode, but let's just say it gets a lot crazier. And yeah, I mean, I've always just been so scared, and that's essentially why I wanted to do Fear Factor. I wanted to face my fears and do things that were so uncomfortable, so disgusting.
My gosh.
And I shocked myself, honestly, and I mean, you saw episode 1, I was covered in bees. That was my biggest fear, and as much as I wanted to quit, I wanted to do it to really just prove to myself that I can be uncomfortable and I can do really scary things. But yeah, it wasn't that fun, honestly.
No,
It wasn't that
Tatum.
fun.
Wow,
She
Celeste.
is remarkable.
First drop, 5 tarantulas.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
Oh, look at them crawling right up her nose.
And she couldn't remember what the name of that bug was, but initially they told her, okay, we're going to put this bug in your mouth. And she thought it was going to be like something very small.
Oh, yeah.
And then she.
Like a cricket.
Right. But it wasn't, and it was like 10 times the size of a cricket. But when you have the judges in awe over what is happening, that's when you know you're in for it.
Right. Oh my gosh! You know what? I was watching this whole interview. I was so impressed with her, and I said to myself, "I got to start just watching Fear Factor. This looks incredible."
It does. Well, it came back. It was gone for a while. I asked in the chat, "What are you all most scared of?"
Oh, great question.
And Jennifer says the dentist.
Big D, what is our viewer voicemail number? Call viewer voicemail. Tell us what you're most afraid of.
It is 602-262-0428. Call in anytime. We've got a viewer voicemail lined up to air tomorrow, but we want to hear from you. We'll play them next week. Your biggest fear.
Yeah, that'd be good. Look at Dave. Didn't Big D look sharp today? Is that a new blouse? Is that a new shirt?
My wife's
Celeste.
in town. I got to make sure I'm looking good for her.
Oh,
Is that a new blouse?
shirt?
Okay.
It's a button-down
right.
shirt.
Oh, there you are. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like Dave's got important meetings going. I can't be sure. Celeste, here's what's coming up next. What would you do if you reached into a bag of salad and felt a live frog?
That is a fear, Ron. That is a fear.
Yeah, it is. It happened. All right, everybody, welcome back. Ron and Celeste, thanks for hanging out with us on Fox 10 Talks. A lot of people like to watch on Fox 10 TV, Celeste. You know, we're on Fox 10 now. And thousands more watch live every day on the Fox Local app.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
And either way, we would love still for you then on your phone to hop in and join the chat, because Christine is saying, I'm not afraid of anything.
Good for you, Christine.
After facing my biggest fear of cancer. Christine, we love you.
We're
we support
celebrating
you.
you. Yeah.
That is such a perfect attitude.
Wow. Celebrating your survival. So happy for you, Christine.
Yeah.
Louis Gonzalez says, my biggest fear is also fire.
Oh.
RLS Vid says, my biggest fear is fear itself.
Oh, I thought we had nothing to fear but fear itself.
Linda Monter.
I'm so confused.
Me too.
The one thing that fear you should make you fearful is fear.
And then Linda Monter says, my biggest fears, fire, heights, anything that stings, bites, and the dark.
Okay, Linda. That covers about 50% of most people's day. It's fantastic. All right, Fox 10 Talks. And all right, so Celeste.
Yes.
Do you buy bag salad or do you buy lettuce and chop it up? You're so healthy, I bet you do that.
I do buy it and then chop it up.
Yeah.
There are some times, though, where I'm in a jam and I just need to throw everything in a bowl and serve it.
Okay.
But it's few and far between.
Yeah. Well, this story is just, to me, it's unbelievable that it really happened, and it's a big trender.
My gosh. Have you seen this video, Ron?
Here we go. Okay,
Look
so
at that
there's
little
the bag.
guy. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Is that why it was on sale? It looks like it was on discount with that yellow. So only $118 for the bag.
Notice frog included. Markdown.
Oh my
There's a frog in the bag. We're not going to touch it.
So we're
if
only.
you want to buy it for cheap, here you go. This is
$118.
amazing. Okay, I couldn't figure out how it happened. Now I totally get it, because he's almost like a chameleon. His green is almost matching the green of the salad.
Oh my goodness.
Holy schmoly. All right, here's the story. The video, of course, has gone viral. The amphibian climbing through the leafy greens. The three roommates named him Greg the Frog.
That's brilliant.
The lettuce was bought from a supermarket in Australia. And, oh, by the way, the company says it's a, quote, isolated incident. Yeah, you think?
There's not any more frogs around that you just want to throw in?
I mean, there are stories, some pretty gross stories that are out there every year, about something, I don't know, like a little, I wouldn't be surprised to see like a little animal arm or leg or something of a frog. I'm sorry, Celeste, but to just see a happy, healthy frog in the bag.
He must have been living on the inside of that romaine.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it gets bagged up.
Yep, bagged up.
And he's like, hold on a second, where am I?
Incredible. All right, let's talk about a couple of the big the big national news stories today. You heard about the president. The Democrats are calling it a slush fund. Mm-hmm. President is calling it a anti-weaponization fund.
Yes.
Saying that this is money that's going to be available for people now or into the future who feel like they are being by the government.
Yes.
And so, nevertheless, the issue is this. 2 Capitol police officers filed a lawsuit yesterday because they were there and they don't want to see anybody who attacked the Capitol and may have even attacked them physically get any money in the situation.
They said, I believe the president also said that it was open to Democrats. As
yes,
well.
that's
He's
correct.
like, it's open to everybody.
Yes,
that was his latest statement anyway.
Yeah. All right, so that's happening. The other thing is the president did say that he is not going to let politics or the calendar influence him when it comes to the Iranian decision. Now, this is fascinating because there's a report out today. There was a really tense phone call between the Prez and the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu's people are telling him the Iranians have no interest in a deal, they're faking it, and they're just trying to buy time to build up their their weapons systems
Yes.
once again.
Right.
And Israel, of course, doesn't want to see that because, they're in the line of fire.
Exactly.
Over there. As far as we know, Iran has not developed any missiles that could hit the U.S., but there are concerns their missiles could be long enough they could hit Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of angst about it all, and you have Israel, it sounds like, kind of pushing to reactivate, and the president thinking, I think we can get this done through diplomacy.
Yeah.
And so it's our poll question today. I think it's really fascinating because he says the election is not going to influence his decision on Iran. Should it? 13% say yes. Because if gas prices stay this high, Republicans will lose the House and the Senate. But more than 70% of you are saying, look, it's not about politics. It's about their nuclear ambitions. Your other option is it doesn't really matter. Republicans are going to lose in November because it's an off-year election no matter what. You can grab that QR code, and we'll watch those numbers start to move around.
All right, let's take a look at your numbers on YouTube. President Trump says election won't influence his Iran decisions. Should it? 37% of you say yes if gas prices stay high. Republicans will lose the House and the Senate. No, 23% of you. It's not about politics. It's about their nuclear ambitions. And 40% say it doesn't matter. Republicans will lose in November, no matter what. We've got a lot of good comments on this as well.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this was one we only posted an hour ago, and we're getting dozens of them. Dave, what are you seeing?
That's right. A lot of people are commenting on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Beth in Chandler says anybody that doesn't think Iran is a threat with their nuclear weapons needs to do a little bit of research. This is all just temporary. Let the president do what he was elected to do, and that is to protect the people of the United States. Bonafide E21 says Iran had no nuclear weapons program. Now they will. Tolls in the Strait of Hormuz will bring them massive revenue, and the U.S. spent $75 million in an undisclosed number of lives to make Iran great again. And finally, Christine Carroll says gas prices and all of our other costs will influence the election, but it should not influence the president. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. By the way, the frog
the comment. Did you see Burger Boys?
Right.
He said frog legs are good if cooked right with a little olive oil and rosemary and a little lemon zest.
Yeah, but who's going to pull that poor little frog out and fry him right there in a pan? No.
A man like Burger Boy, he's a real chef.
Right? And then here's Johnny is like, I just wanted chicken in my salad.
Oh, I bet it tastes like chicken.
Yeah. Hey, we're looking forward to this interview. Here's our guest. There's Brad Blakeman. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, Brad. Good morning.
We're so glad to have you here. Brad represents Tunnel to Towers. You guys are doing a lot of really good work lately. Tell us about it.
Well, thanks to the American people in our 25th year of remembrance of 9/11, this Memorial Day, we're going to pay off 23 mortgages, mortgage-free homes to our heroes, first responders, and military who leave small children behind. We got them covered. This year, we'll pay off 343 mortgages. That number represents the number of FDNY that were killed on 9/11. So we're doing lots of good stuff. We're building homeless veterans villages around the country. We're paying off mortgages. We're building smart homes for our heroes. And this is only possible through the generosity of the American people who give us that $11 a month at t2t.org. We bless them.
Wow. I was going to ask you, how long has the organization been around?
25 years. We started in the aftermath of 9/11 with the death of hero firefighter Stephen Siller. He was off duty that day, and he heard what was going on. He ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel with 60 pounds of gear. Responded to the South Tower. He died saving others. Shortly thereafter, his family got around literally a kitchen table. Said Stephen is going to be remembered, and we're going to help those who need help in the aftermath. And Tunnel to Towers was born.
All right, so you guys have provided this very video for us here. Tell us about the steel beam that's coming across America.
We have a very special event. We're taking an authentic piece of steel from the World Trade Center South Tower. It's 21 feet, 16,000 pounds. We're going to 34 stops in 21 states. And I'm very proud to tell you that the steel is coming right here to Scottsdale, Arizona on June 17th at the Pima Maricopa Indian community, Salt River, at the USS Arizona Memorial Gardens. 6 p.m. on June 17th. The steel will be here. It's open to the public. And we were just at the Booker School 2 days ago, where President Bush was on that day, and we brought back the teacher, Andy Card, the chief of staff, who whispered in the president's ear. We brought back the students with their children. It was a very moving day.
You know, it is remarkable. Ron, have you been to the 9/11 memorial or like where the World Trade Center was?
I've been to the one that we're showing in Shanksville at the Flight 93 in Pennsylvania.
And we were just there.
The one in New York,
The one in New York I've been to several times, and it is so moving when you see those steel beams, and it's so important, don't you think, to reminding our younger generations of what happened on that day.
Absolutely. So many millions of Americans weren't even born that day. And it's been said that if you don't learn from history, you're condemned to repeat it. And our first mission is to never forget. And through this steel, people will be able to touch the steel. They'll be able to have a moment with the steel. They'll be able to hear from the people who were there that day and their experiences. I was in the White House on that day. I was a senior advisor to President Bush. I was director of appointments and scheduling. We were evacuated to another place. I lost my nephew, Tommy, who was a first responder. My brother was on the board of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which owned the Trade Center. So our family has a very close connection to 9/11.
Was it a chaotic situation at the White House? I mean, we've read a lot of books and reports, but you were there firsthand.
No, it was not chaotic. I think the only tense moment was when we had to evacuate the 18 acres of the White House because we were told that the plane that the passengers took down in Shanksville, Flight 93, was coming for the White House. So that was the only chaotic point, was to get off the property, and then we had to regroup at other places and continue working.
Wow. Brad, what's that website again if folks want to...
T2T.org. You'll learn all about the steel across America, the great events that are happening. On Memorial Day, we'll be at the USS Alabama, which is a huge battleship that has so much history in World War II. So we'll be there on Memorial Day.
Wow, thank you for coming in, for taking some time.
Awesome.
This is so remarkable. What a great organization. Paying off the mortgages for all those first responders as well. Thank you.
T2T.org.
There you go.
Brad, thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Pleasure.
All right, time for us to take a break, but up next is... What is it, 30 vitamins and supplements a day too much, Celeste?
Wow.
It seems like it would be.
I'd rather talk about the mystery camera. This is it right here. That sounds like too many pills, Ron.
I know, well, that's what Kim Kardashian's up to.
Holy smokes. All right, sign me up.
We've just barely managed to get you guys off the topic of food. Because it's been what, Dave? That's correct, isn't it?
People are very focused on food, but we want them to be focused on our poll question, our mystery cam, our guests.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to go more like into the Gulf Coast area.
Okay, yeah, me too. What are you going to go with?
I think I'm going to go Louisiana.
Oh, I was thinking that.
Were you really?
But I'm instead going to go with Georgia.
All right, so we got a Georgia
because we went to Louisiana.
or a Louisiana, and then we have a bunch of you guys saying Arkansas or Texas. So here we go.
Oh my gosh, look at this camera angle. I'm just going to go like this. It's like so shorty band.
Hey, she needs more headroom, Dave. Can you work on that?
Yeah, so you cut me off
Right.
here.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we
you
go. Perfect.
Hi.
Okay.
Springfield, Missouri.
You're kidding. None of us got it? Go back
No,
here.
somebody did actually. Who was it? Was it Thomas?
Somebody said Missouri? All right.
Maybe Thomas
No,
Favola?
Thomas Favola is saying Romania. So
Oh, maybe he changed
if
it up.
we can get
Oh, Thomas Brown.
Okay.
Thomas Brown said Missouri. Isn't Springfield, wasn't that the Bart Simpson, or was it Springfield?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, there are like 8 Springfields in America.
And the writers, I believe, at least one of them went to Arizona State University.
Oh, is that right?
So even though it's a
Okay.
party school, Ron, something creative came out of it.
Celeste, this is all great, but you're eating into Kimberly's time. So let's just bring her up right now. Hey, it's Kimberly Yee. How are you?
Hey, good to see you. Thank you for having me.
We had the current superintendent of public instruction,
We did.
Tom Horn, in here not too long ago. And to me, this is maybe one of the most fascinating primary races. What made you decide you wanted that particular job in the government?
Well, I have a long history in public education, K through 12 policy, 30 years. And so for 30 years, you know, I started back in the 1990s, and I was writing charter school laws and open enrollment laws here right in Arizona. I worked as a staff member for the Senate Education Committee, and I also worked for 2 Republican governors, and my portfolio was entirely on education policy. And as treasurer, I have put forward $3.2 billion in our public funds for our schools throughout Arizona. But more importantly, you know, as I served on the Senate Education Committee as the chairwoman, I advanced so many school policies that we have in place now, but that need the work to advance in a way that they were supposed to be implemented. And you know, it's always a question, why would you run against a fellow Republican? Well, in business, if you hire someone and they do not meet performance standards, well, you fire them. And that's what this primary is about. It's really comparing, you know, who is best for this position. I believe Tom Horn has had his 4 years. He's had his chance, and we're still at the 25th percentile in proficiency in reading in our 4th and 8th grades. That's not acceptable. And we can certainly do more. I have a plan for putting phonics back in our schools. Phonics-based reading instruction teaches how, you know, to read based on that old, you know, school approach.
Is there
basics.
a phonics program that you like?
I love the Spalding program.
My children learned under that one
wonderful.
as well. Yes,
And
it's very familiar.
It's literally decades old, so we have the results. The opportunity is there for us to really bring forward not only just the phonics-based instruction, but life skills, because as a growing state like ours, we are rapidly growing, as you know, and that's a good thing. We need to prepare our workforce by bringing in the trades, vocational education, and I want to bring back shop classes and home
that's a good
economics.
idea. I love that.
Didn't you love home ec class?
Yes. Yeah.
You learn how to balance your checkbook, the life skills that you need.
Let's tackle the issue of ESA, because
Sure.
I think that is one of the hot topics for a lot of Arizona families. There's been a lot of contention over whether or not it's been mishandled, whether it needs more transparency or more oversight. What is working right with it, and what is not working so right?
Well, something's working right because we have over 102,000 families on ESAs. It has grown tremendously. It's rapidly growing because it is something that parents desire for their child. If they aren't, fitting that public school setting, they are putting them maybe in a private school or a homeschool setting. We know that so many of our ESA families have children with disabilities, and that is the best environment where they thrive. What I personally would like to do is better manage this program. I believe there's current chaos in the Department of Education when it comes to the management. I bring fiscal management, executive skills to this position as the state treasurer of Arizona. I've served now in my 8th year. And you need to have someone who understands numbers, but accountability and fiscal transparency. These are taxpayer dollars, and we want those families to have these funds as quickly as possible for education-related needs.
What do you think about those income limits?
Income limits.
The governor has been talking about.
It's on a ballot proposal, and it wouldn't be fully universal if you start adding regulations to the program. And if you take a look at it, a number of families are not able to afford private school, and they're using ESAs to advance that opportunity. And so I believe in opportunity for all, like a free marketplace for education.
Yeah.
And I do believe that these families are still going to go to our public schools that are continuing to thrive. And I want to help all schools. I believe school choice adds not only our school choice options like charter schools, private schools, homeschools, but public schools is on that list. We have to help them to get to that opportunity.
It seems like the sense that you get from reading the headlines is the few bad apples that are out there in that program. Do you feel like the job is being adequately done in terms of telling the public how these students are thriving, if they are in fact in these kind of programs? And then also, what about all these mom and pop type businesses that these students then, for example, if they want to take a PE type class, they can go to a local gym kind of a thing, and it's keeping a lot of mom and pop businesses afloat. What about all that?
Great points. And you don't hear about those wonderful examples to highlight what are those success stories. And you do, unfortunately, only hear about the few outliers. And that's not the 102,000 families out there. We want this program to thrive and survive and for its future. Yes, absolutely. These types of local businesses are helping families to be able to educate their children in a way that is most meaningful to them. And we have a lot of students who are, students with disabilities, and they need therapeutic services that are right there for them, but they aren't available in those traditional public schools. This is something that is good news for our families.
You have school-age children. You said you had a daughter who was also a son who was a teacher. Was that right?
Oh,
was
no,
a teacher?
No, my mother.
Your mother was a teacher.
Yes, my mother was a teacher for 38 years in our Arizona public schools in South Phoenix. And so for all of those years of childhood, I understood that teachers need more help, and they shouldn't be going to garage sales to pick up their supplies for the classroom. That should be provided to them. So I want to move more money down from the administration office to our classrooms. That touches not only the teacher for their needs, but also, of course, to the student where it matters most. And so someone who has that fiscal management experience will be able to move that money where it matters. And I believe that teachers absolutely need the support that they deserve.
Did you have a teacher growing up
who
you think really influenced you more than others?
Absolutely. I had Mrs. Janice Buchanan, 5th grade, and I had just moved from one school to another in 5th grade. That's not easy to do for a little girl. And she just brought out the best in all of her students, and to this day I thank her. Public school teachers just deserve so much. Not only right now, we really have to help them, not only in the classroom, but they have to help their families. And with the prices being what they are today, they have to have the funds available to be able to afford their needs for their personal individual needs as well.
Yeah, interesting, right? And bringing trades back into high schools.
Sure. I still have a bookcase I made in 8th grade shop class.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in the garage, but I need to get it back in the house.
Renee Renee?
But come on. Anyway, okay, so how can people find out more about your campaign?
Yes, well, please visit KimberlyYee.com. That's my website. I absolutely would need help across this entire state to advance this wonderful message of opportunity for all.
All right, Kimberly.
Great.
Thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate
It's going to
it.
be a fascinating race to watch.
It
that's
really
for
is.
sure. Okay, that's Kimberly Yee. Hey, by the way, just let me go to this video right here. Speaking of school, what you're looking at this and you're like, wait a minute, you're showing donuts. What does that have to do with school? Here's what it has to do with, Celeste. If you have a grad, because we're at that time of year right now, graduations are happening.
Right.
Krispy Kreme is offering both high school and college grads a 3-pack of original glazed donuts. I love that they're doing this. Oh, it's on 5/21 only. Okay, so we got.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Today,
Yeah,
it's only
that's today.
And you know what, Ron, what if you have your, do you have to have that tassel that says 2026? Do you still have your graduation gown?
I don't. Oh, I see what you're implying.
I wonder if
Celeste.
we could
Could
go
I
there.
pass as a high school senior? I was
bet-
senior class president.
Oh, wow.
let me
Big
tell you.
shot.
I'm going to go into a Krispy Kreme and say, look, the graduation was, quote, a while ago.
But I passed with flying colors.
And I was the senior class president. Can I have a 3-pack?
See how that goes.
All right, on to this other crazy story here from Kim Kardashian. Now, people are upset about it. She apparently gave an interview where, on a podcast, she said she takes roughly, she said, quote, I take probably 35 supplements a day.
Wow.
I spread them out 3 times a day, but she says she thinks the most valuable one of them all is fish oil. But the pill is so big. Why does the fish oil pill have to be so big? You ever notice that?
The
multivitamins are like that, too.
The multis are huge.
They are so big. And so she is talking about it. Now, first of all, it seems like a lot.
Yes.
Do you have like a couple, 3 vitamins or supplements you like to take?
I think I have about 12 that I take.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I have about. She does take a creatine.
Okay.
She says she takes some brain boosting supplements. She does do the fish oil, as you mentioned.
Right.
And then she takes an anti-aging longevity supplement. It's to help boost cellular health and energy.
But she did say when she quit taking the fish oil pills,
Yeah.
her health metrics went down. So she really believes in that.
Maybe
I don't do that.
You
but
don't.
maybe
You
I
don't do fish
should.
oil?
No, do you? You would know, Celeste.
No, I don't.
Right off the top, you would either know yes or no.
Well, I have one. No, I do that
CoQ10.
Thank you.
Okay.
I do that one.
Okay, now I'm worried that you're taking pills you're not even sure what they're called.
I'm like, what? How do you pronounce this? Okay, just give it to me. I'll take it.
All right, here's what's coming up next on FTT. We are counting down the 10 biggest stories in American history. You're going to hear about them from Jon Noetzel next. Well, in some American city, it's so foggy today, Celeste, you can't even see the tops of the buildings.
Wow. I wonder
about that?
what are those people thinking on the very, very tippity top of that high
what's
rise?
super cool about that? That's Tulsa, by the way, if you're living on Tulsa time. If you fly into Seattle on an especially foggy type day, they have a building, it's called the Columbia Center. It's almost 80 stories tall.
Wow.
And there have been a couple, 3 times I've flown into Seattle, and the top of it is poking up above the fog.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that would be super cool. Right?
Quick note on the supplement chatter. Thomas Brown says he's a CoQ10 guy.
Good.
Christine Carroll, she says she does omega-3s. And Linda Monter says she also does CoQ10 as well as others.
All right.
That's good if you're on statins, too.
Yeah.
If you have to take a statin for cholesterol.
Oh, I don't even take a statin. I just take that.
CoQ10 is
CoQ10.
Quinol
it's
or whatever.
Good.
CoQ10.
Jon Noetzel joins us, you guys.
Voice of Johnny Noetzel. John was just telling us that he and I have now been doing the Great American Story for more than a year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Seems like we started just the other day, friend.
I know, right?
What did you say, 30 episodes?
We're right now, let's see, I'm working on either 31 or 32. I think I'm working on 32 right now, and we're doing our top 10 events of the 250 years. So by the time we're done with that, we'll probably be at like 36 or something.
Wow.
Like that.
Now, one of the things that John does that's so incredible, Celeste, is he edits these introductions.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about episodes 5 and 6. I'm going to roll this sound right now, John, so people get the setup for it, and then let's discuss. Moments that defined our nation. 2.5 centuries in the making. One great American story. As we continue our countdown to the 4th of July, we've reached number 7. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement. This wasn't just a chapter in our history. It was a second American Revolution. A time when a nation would finally have to decide if the words, all men are created equal, were a lived reality or just a hollow phrase. On this episode, we go beyond the mountaintop. We look at the courage of the foot soldiers who walked so that a generation could run, and the leader who used the power of words to dismantle a century of silence, and who spoke a more perfect union into existence. It is a story of nonviolence in the face of fire, a dream that challenged what for many was a nightmare, and a movement that forced our nation to look in the mirror. Like Lincoln 100 years before him, Martin Luther King summoned our better angels. This is the Great American Story. Gosh, I loved that line.
Yeah, well done, John.
Summoning our better angels 100 years after Abraham Lincoln. Yeah. Well, what did you either... we do a lot of research, Celeste. I was talking to my daughter yesterday. I love doing these episodes, and I said, the thing about it is, often you can spend 5 or 6 hours of homework researching for 1.5 hour episode.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
So when we prepared for this one, John, what stories did you learn or what stuck out to you?
Well, let's see. You put me on the spot here, Ron.
Well, I've got one if you want to think about it.
I'll tell you what was really kind of, and I don't want to say shocking because I think we all knew this in our collective minds, but seeing the movie tone videos of the protests and the treatment of people by cops, by the authorities, just seeing how it was
the way of life was that
hoses being turned on people, on little kids just for protesting, just for walking in the streets. That was a little shocking to me. It was, and then we actually played some sound in this episode from not only Dr. King, but from Bull Connor and from George Wallace, who were, I mean, let's face it, avowed racists of the time. Shocking to hear them just the way they talked. And it was, so it was very, for me, it was very eye-opening, very revealing. I mean, I've studied the civil rights movement growing up in high school, but until you see it, until you view that content, and I mean, Ron and I are viewing this, in a way that a lot of people don't, because we're in an editing booth and we're like viewing it intimately. Really, it's really shocking. And the James Meredith content that you just showed there, I've been to Ole Miss. I've seen the statue of James Meredith where he was the first African American to enroll at the University of Mississippi in 1962. I had no idea that the riots that took place on that campus. People died. People were injured, and their cars were burned out. I mean, and looking at that video is, it's really it's shocking. It's,
I'll still the story that sticks out to me, Celeste, is of a 15-year-old Martin Luther King. So often the characters that are larger than life in our nation's history, we know them from the newsreel footage from, say, their last few years of life, that kind of thing. But here's a 15-year-old who is giving a speech, his high school speech teacher and one of his friends, and it's at a church. Outside of Atlanta, I want to say it was in either Rome or Dublin, Georgia. And he talks about his dream of a country where true equality can exist, and the crowd goes wild. I mean, he's there as sort of a speaking competition, but in fact, he connected to people on such a emotional level that I think that night changed him, and he felt so filled with hope. They get on the bus to go back home to Atlanta, and at the first stop, some white guys get on the bus and stand and wait for him to get up from his seat. And he has to get up out of his seat and stand the entire rest of the bus ride. This was only like in the 50s, I guess, or 40s. In the 40s.
Yeah, it would have been 40s. Right?
And it was such a moment that steeled him for the fight to come that he was changed forever. When we do this research and we learn these stories and we get a chance to share them, it's so meaningful.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, I'm listening to Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, the audiobook, and he was talking about his encounter with racism in southern Indiana. And I think you think about the South, but it really bled into other states.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very for me, very revealing, humbling episode. And I mean, with Ron, we do this research and we come upon these little nuggets of these stories and these little anecdotes and side stories that, little known things about these.
When is the episode airing?
The episode's on Fox Local right now. It'll
just
be
debuted, I think.
Just debuted yesterday. It'll be on YouTube on, I think, Friday or Saturday.
Hey, let's do this, Jon. Thanks for all that input.
Absolutely.
Celeste, you also wanted to talk about your balancing act.
Yeah, so we have a, this one I thought was and Jon, you'll know Tess Lou with My Sister's Closet. They've, her and her sister Ann opened it 35 years ago. I think we might have some video of My Sister's Closet. Have impeccable style, and so Ann was probably like, come on over, let's do this together. What was that like for you when you jumped on board?
It was so much fun because I sort of wrote a paragraph of what I saw my job as. And I would read my paragraph every day, all day long, and I turned that into my job, where I would be helping people to style. I'd be the face of the company. I would help people dress. I'd promote all our brands. I'd design new stores. I'd refresh the old stores. I was the window display person. And of course, we got involved with so many other things where we'd be producing galas and fashion shows and giving back to our community. So I had the dream job that I literally wrote the paragraph. And I gave a talk recently at FITM at ASU, and that's what I told all these beautiful young faces. Write your paragraph of what you want to be and go be it.
Here's the view.
So here's a little bit of the video of the podcast and then also of Tessaloo. So my sister's closet, well suited, my sister's attic. For 35 years, these women have led this really amazing company, and not just here in Arizona, but they had 10 stores, I believe, at one time and into Southern California. They've recently just sold it. I didn't know that, but they sold their stores, and now the sisters are kind of branching on into other businesses. And Tess is going to be working with her daughter on another venture. But I do have a link. This is going to air on Monday on YouTube, and then I believe it goes on to our Fox Local app as well. But I have a link to my profile on Instagram at Celeste Fox 10 to the Balancing Act podcast, and as well as my Cool House digital show. But what we hope to do with the Balancing Act is kind of encourage people and inspire people to do different things, and to show you and introduce you to people in our community that are really kind of, changing things for the better.
What she said there was so great. She's like, you want to write your own story? Go ahead, write it.
And then do
it's
it.
time, and then follow through.
And you hear it so many times from so many different people. Once you put it down on paper, that's where it begins. You can think about it all day long, but until you write it down and stick it on your mirror in your bedroom or on your door, your wall, that's when it can become real, and you're looking at it every day, and then you're working to accomplish your dreams.
I say stick it on your wall, your door, your bathroom mirror, and like your car steering wheel.
Maybe, everywhere.
Wherever.
The shower.
We all have those dreams, but you actually have to put it in practice. You got to put it into action.
And remind yourself
and I love
every
stories
day.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Okay, Jon, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about some other episodes.
Hey,
we'll get you in.
I'm going to give a little tease here.
Okay.
So we're counting down, as you know.
Right.
And we have one episode where we're going to have a very special guest, a very, very well-known person.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it there. And,
prominent author.
Prominent author.
You won't even give us he or she.
Oh, I like Celeste doing
It's a
that.
he.
You won't even give us a real clue.
It's a he. Yeah.
Thanks
You
for
won't wanna
watching,
miss it.
everyone. Looking
you,
forward to
Jon.
it, John. Have a great day, everyone. I'm off tomorrow, so have a great weekend. See you next week.
All right, welcome on in. Happy Thursday, everybody. I finally got the date.
You did.
right.
Good
Yeah.
job.
I kept thinking all week it was Thursday.
I do that almost every week. I wake up Wednesday thinking it's Thursday, and it never is.
There we go.
It's like
Well, we finally
wishful
got the
thinking.
day right.
You manifest it. Jam-packed show?
Indeed we do, you guys. This one, we're no joke. We're
No,
talking
very serious.
Blood donations. We're talking tennis, and we're talking fish and game. We got a whole slew of guests
We
to
have
get
some
to.
really special cute guests at the end of the show, so you guys are going to stick around. Let's start with blood donations. I think Colin, hello, Williams, you're the spokesperson for American Red Cross. Around the holidays, everyone is very thoughtful, very giving. They donate blood, they donate money. During the summer months, people are traveling, not so much.
Well, you know, the summertime, it's really almost a perfect storm if you think about it for the blood situation. We have so many schools we work with, over 100 schools in Arizona, and now they're all out for summer, so we're not there collecting in the high schools and the colleges. We also see a lot more people traveling. And so people travel, that means they're on the roads, that means there's more traumatic accidents, and just a lot of activities, vacations, things like that. So people are less inclined to show up to donate, and there's more need for blood.
Okay.
For people that have never given blood before, we're looking at some video that you guys provided. It looks like a very simple, easy process. How long are we taking, is the process to give blood?
Well, we say an hour. It's really not an hour. You can do a rapid pass, which comes to your email the day you donate, and it allows you to answer all the questions we want to know about medications you're on, how you feel, if you've traveled to a place that has Zika virus, for example. You can do that at home. You come with your rapid pass. Once you check in, normally you can get right back, donate. The act of donating blood just takes less than 5 minutes. So we kind of encourage people to come, donate, and then stick around a little bit, have some of those delicious snacks we provide.
They have a lot of snacks.
Some of the beverages, and just make sure your body is kind of recovered and ready to go on about its day.
Who can donate? Who qualifies?
Well, that's a great question. You know, if you have on average, if you have 100 people, 30% are eligible to donate, and of that, only 10% actually donate. So that's 3 people out of 100.
Wow.
And so it's a significantly low number. Really, if you're healthy and you think you can find it in your heart to donate, we encourage people to donate. Of course, there's a lot of things that defer people. It could be medications, could be cancer treatments, it could be things like that. But the FDA and the American Red Cross have really gone to great lengths to make it easier for more people. The LGBTQ plus community, people that were always deferred previously because of mad cow, if they served in the military in Europe, they can now donate. And so everything is being done through science to make sure the blood supply is safe, but we just need more donors.
What about age restrictions, weight restrictions? You mentioned, health restrictions.
So 16 and 17-year-old are the younger donors we see. They, of course, need a parental consent form. There is no top-end age. We have donors that are approaching 100 years old. They kind of... I think they kind of know when it's time for them to stop donating based on their bodies. But, you know, what we're seeing right now is the demographic of older people that were this was instilled into them in the military or in schools. Those people are, I don't want to say aging out, but they're timing out, right? And so... and we're just not seeing the younger generation backfilling. And so we're kind of leading towards this moment in time where it's going to get real in the blood world. Nobody's been able to make it in a factory. Nobody's been able to make it in a lab. The human
AI
blood,
is not going to replace it.
AI is not going to do it. There's something about that red blood cell that carries oxygen to parts of the body that need it. And without that, you're not going to do very well. So that's why it's just important that people, volunteer donors, come out and donate.
Colin, how do you do it? How do you sign up? Where do you find a website? And then is it easy to get an appointment near you?
Exactly. So the American Red Cross makes it really easy through a number of ways. Of course, there's the Red Cross Blood Donor app, which is a great resource for everybody. Okay. 1-800-RED Cross, redcrossblood.org. And if you type in right there in the upper corner, it says Find a Drive. You type in your zip code, and it'll show you all the blood drives in your area. We do have fixed sites, which are locations that are essentially in offices and strip malls where you can go. We're actually adding those to the Valley. But you also can just expect a mobile drive, which is a blood drive at a community center, a church, school, all those areas in your area, in your neighborhood.
How often can you donate, and how do you know where the blood is going? Does it stay in our community?
So you can donate every 56 days. If you do a power red process, which we can talk about, a little bit different, more involved, kind of more scientific, that's 112 days. Our blood goes from here to California. It gets tested, rigorous testing process, and then comes back to the hospitals that we work with here in Arizona, and is also distributed throughout the West.
Give us a website real quick one more time, and then did you want to show off you got a little giveaway?
It's redcrossblood.org or Red Cross. You can find it if you go onto redcross.org, redcrossblood.org. Either one will take you to where you can easily locate a blood drive near you. This month, all donors are receiving a very cool and stylish Red Cross.
That is
let me pull
beach
up
towel.
Pool
towel.
Pool
It is
towel.
swim season, guys.
It's the season for the beach. It's the season for the pool. Next month, the entire month of June, donors will receive a $15 e-gift card that they can use at a retailer of their choice.
Oh, cool.
So we expect people to, of course, come out and donate because they can feel good about helping somebody else in need. But if they also love these T-shirts, incentives, and things like that, we are always there for them.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll make sure everyone has your info. Be safe
you.
this weekend.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to switch gears, you guys. We are talking about tennis because May is National Tennis Month.
Do you play?
When I was younger, I did, and it's one of those things that I really regret that I didn't stick
pursue.
with. And so we have Tracy here joining us. Tracy Lawson, you are one of the coaches with the U.S. Tennis Association.
How
Good morning.
exciting. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. So tell us a little bit about how we're celebrating tennis this month.
Okay, well, the USTA is the national governing body of tennis for the United States. And the mission of the USTA is to grow tennis, to create healthier people and communities everywhere. So National Tennis Month is just a really great way to rally the community into and inspiring them to play this great sport of tennis.
Tracy, can you give us your backstory of how you came to get involved with tennis?
Yeah, so my mom played tennis from an early age. She played national junior tennis. She played the U.S. Open 3 times. So she taught me to play. I played junior tennis at a high level. I played collegiate tennis. And then when I got married and got a real job, I was actually, coaching was not my first job. I was a paralegal for a trial attorney in town, and I was basically in a different court. But tennis is kind of one of those sports that drags you back in. You just can't stay away from it. And so when I had kids and I wanted to get them involved in something, tennis was a natural fit. So they were at the tennis club, but I had played, but I hadn't ever taught the sport, and playing and teaching are different things. So once they started playing, I really kind of took a deep dive into learning how to best support them. And that was kind of my journey. It was really by chance. And when I first started supporting my kids and working with my kids, I had no idea I was going to end up this deep in tennis, but I'm in deep.
You're in deep, and you're doing a great thing for the community now,
Tracy, I've never played. Ty said he did a little bit. How would you, I guess, sell the sport to someone? What is so alluring and fantastic about tennis that people want to keep coming back on the court, but also keeps them healthy, motivated, and moving?
So there's a lot of different ways to play tennis for all levels. There are classes. The USTA has a program called Red Ball Tennis for beginner adults, where it's also for kids, but it's also for adults who have never picked up a racket before, where they can play the sport right away. So there's different ways that you can play the sport depending on your goals. And I guess the elevator speech for tennis is it's the world's healthiest sport. There was a study done that actually showed that all of the components of tennis give people 9 extra years
Wow.
You'll live 9 extra years. So, and I think the reasons for that is it's physical. It is, it's cognitively engaging. You have to make quick decisions. It's social. It's really social. It's a community. So it just it taps into every part of a person, and it really hooks you. And it's something that you can constantly strive to do better. And so we got to get you back out there.
I know. I was just going to ask you, if folks are thinking like, okay, maybe I tried this, maybe Anita wants to try for the first time, what would you suggest? What are some great ways to start again, maybe at an older age?
Right. So red ball tennis is a great way. And so I would encourage people to go to USTA.com and look for programs. And then red ball tennis is a really great way to get started. There's also cardio tennis, which is a super fun program. It's a class that incorporates not just playing, but cardio. So you're moving all of the time. It's so fun. There are social leagues. There are social clubs. All kinds of ways to get involved, but you'll find those on USTA.com. And then if you're interested in programs or private lessons or group lessons, if you go to USTAcoaching.com, you can search for providers in your area, and it will have, all, bios of about those coaches and the things that they specialize in. And so those would be 2 really great ways to get started.
About a minute left. I feel like tennis is one of those sports that never really went out of style. Does that make sense? It's always been popular, always will be.
Yes, and I think it's even more. It's really become part of our culture. Like you'll see. I was in anthropology, and there's like a whole line of tennis stuff in anthropology. So it's in the movies, it's in commercials. It's really become part of our culture, and I think it's a game that it's a sport and a game that just. You can continue to find new ways to enjoy it. Yeah. So I think that's why it just continues to thrive.
Real quick, we've got about 30 seconds left. Give us that website one more time.
So USTAcoaching.com is where you can find a coach and or a provider, and USTA.com is where you can find the different types of programs and where you can find those programs.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Hit the courts.
Get back out there.
Yeah.
I will. Yes, ma'am. All right, we are going to take a quick 2.5-minute break. Much more Fox 10 Talks right ahead. All right, welcome back, you guys. We have a very exceptional next guest, and I wanted to read his bio before we interview him because the tagline is born defying expectations and not slowing down. After losing both legs from the pelvis down at the age of 5 due to a genetic disease, Spencer West tackled challenges after challenge. Learning to navigate a world set against those with disabilities, he has spent his life challenging expectations, using adversity and lived experience as a catalyst for impact. And today he's one of the most recognizable and influential disability advocates in the world. He has over 4 million followers on TikTok and continues to inspire. And guess what?
He's going to inspire us
yeah,
today.
He sure is. He's joining us on Zoom this morning.
Wow. What an intro.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about your story then.
Yeah, so, I was born with legs, but I was born with a genetic disease that caused the muscles in my legs not to work. So when I was 2 years old, they were amputated at the knee in hopes that I could use prosthetic legs and get around that way. That didn't work out. So then at the age of 5, they were amputated just below my pelvis. And so now I sort of navigate the world walking on my hands and using a wheelchair.
Wow.
At such a young age, do you think that was to your advantage? Because that was kind of I guess you learned how to move around the world at a young age? Or how did that kind of, open up the world to you?
Yeah, I think for me, acquiring my disability at birth was definitely helpful for me because this is all I've ever known. And so having my legs amputated when I was a kid, it actually made my life so much easier because before, they sort of drug behind me and they were kind of dead weight. And that was difficult. That made it difficult for me to navigate the world. So once they were amputated, my life got so much easier. There was something, the doctors wanted me to use prosthetic legs even after that, and they were really difficult to use. And so eventually I sort of ditched those and figured out that a wheelchair and just walking on my hands is easier and faster for me. But yeah, it got me prepared for the world, knowing that this is what my life was going to be like.
At what stage, at what age did you realize that you can change the world with your story, though? That you can influence other people with different, whether it's physical disabilities, mental, emotional disabilities and challenges. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, my journey sort of, and this is one of the things I talk about in the book, is, I graduated college and got out into the real world and, was disappointed. I couldn't get a job in my field, and I was feeling disappointed with where my life had gone, and I fell into, the trap of my own making of, staying at a job that paid well, but I wasn't passionate about. And then a friend who knew I was struggling invited me to go on a volunteer trip to Kenya, and after a lot of thought, I went, and it was a life-changing experience. And, but, one of the things that happened is I got to share my story with a group of local kids, and after I told them what happened to my legs, a young girl said to me that she didn't know something like this, meaning the loss of my legs, could happen to white people too. And that phrase changed everything for me, because up until that point, my disability was just something that happened to me. It wasn't an identity that I claimed. But when she said this to me, I thought, oh, I think I've missed something, and I need to re-examine what it means to be disabled, what that means to me, how I show up in the world, and then how can I use that to empower other people to look at challenges differently. The goal isn't to make other people feel better about their lives, but just how do I empower them to take action in their own life on the things that they care about, or break free from expectations they've put on themselves or from the world.
Spencer, we're looking at some incredible photos that you sent over from, I guess, your trip to Kenya, but also you climbing. You really are not letting this disability get you down.
Yeah, I would say, the thing that stops me from fully existing in the world is the barriers that still exist and ableism in our communities, both physically and, attitudinal. But I did climb Kilimanjaro a few years ago because I was, traveling the world as a motivational speaker, and I was feeling guilty because I was telling folks you need to make a difference on the things that you care about, but I was just talking about it. So I came up with this wild idea to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and my goal was to raise $500,000 for clean water in East Africa. Because I'm not the first disabled person to climb Kilimanjaro, and I'm definitely not the last, but the reason that I was climbing was the focus of the campaign. I wanted to raise this money to provide clean water. So we did it. It was hard. My buddies I needed their help the first half, and the second half they got altitude sickness and I didn't, and they needed my help. So it was this beautiful exchange.
You were wearing a t-shirt that said redefine possible. What is your definition of possible today?
Yeah, I think in history, we've seen how we've been able to do that by going to the moon and all the technological advancements that we have. So I think we all have the capacity to redefine what's possible for ourselves and to break free of those expectations that come with us. And that's, the whole crux of the book is this idea of how do we break free and redefine what's possible for ourselves. And at the end of every chapter, there are questions and exercises for people to do. So it's not just my story. I want to empower people to do the same thing in their own life as well. So it means to break free.
Spencer, tell us, excuse me, about your book and how folks can find it.
Yeah, so it's available anywhere you can buy books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the major bookstores. And yeah, it came out last week, which I'm really excited about. You can follow me on social media, Spencer to the West, and all the platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can, buy the book through the link in my bio as well, or on my website, which is just spencertothewest.com.
Well, thank you. And if you're ever in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you in person.
Absolutely. I would love that. I used to live in Phoenix, actually.
You did? Oh.
I did. Yeah. So I missed the weather.
Do you really?
I was going to say, it's going to be 120 here pretty soon, Spencer. Are you sure about that?
It's still 50 degrees here, so I'll take it.
Where are you now, Spencer?
I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, yeah. A little different.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you sharing so much inspiration.
It was great to meet you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. A little more inspiration.
Yeah, right?
Maybe you want to be a pet parent and save a life, but not the kind that you think.
No, this is a very different beast, so to speak. Look how cute these are,
Look
you
how
guys.
little itty bitty.
These
Can you guys
are
see it?
all tortoises, and they are all up for adoption. And we have some of our friends from the Arizona Game and Fish joining us this morning.
Nice and close to that mic, because you're soft-spoken and it doesn't pick up. I know, you have a friend. Do you want to hold the friend?
Sure.
Okay,
So
careful,
tell
it's
us-
heavy.
Tell us about these little guys. Or girls.
These, we have no idea what the little ones are.
How do you find out?
Once they get to about 8 to 10 years old, you can kind of start to see the dip forming on their belly.
Oh, there's a dip.
Mm-hmm. But if there's no dip, it's female.
Oh. Okay.
So these guys are Sonoran desert tortoises. So there are native desert tortoises. They're the ones that we have here in the state. But these are all the ones that we have that are captive. So, back in like the 70s, 80s, you can go out in the wild, you can take one home. But what happens is they have 12 babies a year, every year.
Even if they're living on their own solo?
Mm-hmm.
They're just having babies?
If they're with a male once, they will have fertile eggs for 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So is that why we kind of have this
overpopulation problem?
That's why we have so many in captivity that need homes, because we still are having a couple people that are breeding them in captivity, not in purpose.
Yeah. Well, they just mean I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I might bring one home and I wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we can get 40 or 50 from one home. And of course, these guys live to be like 80 plus. So it's like the dog and cat problem, but with a very old animal.
Old desert tortoise.
Yeah.
So the one that Ty is holding, which one here? Let me see. We'll do a wide shot. The one that Ty is holding is how old do you think?
I'd say 1 or 2 years old.
Real itty bitty.
Teeny tiny.
What does it take to care for one like this?
It's pretty much the same exact thing as an adult. It's just a smaller space. So you do have to have a burrow in your yard. You do have to build them a burrow. They aren't that great at making one themselves because they're captive. No pools, no open fire pits. As long as your yard is completely enclosed, you've got lots of shade, then all you really need is a burrow.
Wow. So wait, I'm sorry, I was too mesmerized.
I know, it's so
watching him.
cute.
Repeat that one more time. Does he have to be outside or can he be inside?
He does need to be outside.
He does need to be outside.
Okay,
even
but-
at this little teeny tiny age. Okay.
Really? Okay, so what if you have a pool but you have like a separate area?
You can do that.
You can do that. That would be okay.
That would be totally fine.
Okay. Let's see if we can change the shot. Hold your buddy up here, and I'll see if I can get a wide shot there. And this one is how old?
This one's maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Okay, let me see. There we go. A little bit better. So 4 or 5. What are they eating? Do they need any other care than the itty bitties?
No,
That's it.
It's all the same. So if you've got grass in your yard, that's all you really need.
If not, what are they eating?
Hay, Timothy hay or Bermuda hay.
And so how much are we talking about? Like, especially like the bigger one that she's got next to you.
I don't know if we can.
And how old is that one?
30, 40 maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I usually have to guess. We don't get great histories when they come in. So
Does he have a dip? Is it a boy?
it is a boy.
That's
Look.
a boy. He's so very handsome. Look at him.
Oh.
And he doesn't want to show his dip off.
He does not.
Well, I'm just wondering. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're fascinating creatures.
They are. They're cool.
They're quite literally like dinosaurs.
Well, yeah, technically.
They're very fun to watch, aren't they?
They are. It's kind of cathartic, right?
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the care. I mean, obviously, this is a long-term commitment.
Yes.
So who would be a good adopter of a tortoise?
Really anybody.
Okay.
If somebody is older and they just want a low maintenance-ish pet, something that they don't have to come home and let out all the time. A tortoise is great. We have older ones, younger ones. You get to pick.
How often are you checking on them? How often are you feeding them? How often do you want to interact with them?
You can interact with them as much as you want.
Like a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, buddy.
Some of them actually will come to their names.
No way.
Some of them will knock on your door. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've heard that.
They'll come to your back door, knock on your door.
Oh, look at this little guy's going to try and change all the buttons here.
Can you let them in the house?
You can. I just wouldn't leave them in there temporarily. Is fine.
Okay.
Now, do they get, like you mentioned, I mean, they kind of have little personalities after a while. Like,
Oh,
this
there we
little
go.
guy's
Look,
just
watch.
like living his best life.
Can you
over
guys see
here.
him? Yeah. I'm going to turn around over here.
I think they all individually have their own personalities. Some are more shy, some are a little bit more outgoing, some are very, very friendly. Like, I think Largo's very friendly.
This is Largo. Tell us about Largo. Does Largo need a home, or is that like an ambassador with you guys?
Yeah, Largo does need a home. He's actually one of our more active ones. I usually find him climbing like on top of his burrow all over the place. He's a really good explorer and climber.
How fun. Now, are they social animals?
Yeah, do you need more than one?
No, they're very solitary.
Like
They
us.
will actually fight and try to kill each other.
Oh.
They will?
They will, yeah. But you can get away with it when they're young like this, but we don't know male, female, and we don't want to.
Yeah. We don't want to risk having a lot of little tortoises. What about dogs, kids, cats?
They're usually fairly good with dogs and kids. Cats don't bother them. The only thing you have to watch out for is make sure your dog is okay with them. Because we do get a lot of dog maulings.
Okay, silly question, but we have hawks, coyotes, bobcats in our neighborhood.
I wouldn't worry too much about them. With a little one, you want to have like a screen top over their enclosure.
Okay.
But for something this size, they're not going to bother them.
Okay, now I've heard that they are very good at digging and burrowing. So do you need to be careful, like making sure that they're not digging under a fence and going into your neighbor's house? We only have 30 seconds left. Oh my gosh, we've been having too much fun.
I know.
I guess real quick, give us a website where folks can go get more info.
It would be www.azgfd.gov/tortoise.
And you said these won't burrow because they're born
They
in
don't really, they don't really dig as much. The ones that you're probably thinking of, they're sulcatas that go under houses.
Okay.
Yeah,
These are
guys
safe.
don't. Yeah, these guys don't do that very.
You
You'll
guys,
catch
thank
them
you
before
for
they
bringing
get
them in.
Thank
So
you.
fun.
Thanks, friend.
All right, have a good weekend, you guys.
Oh, look, he's letting me pet him. Oh,
And here we go, Ron and Des. And I am in the process of texting Dean right now because I want to know where this is. Right here, right now. Where is this? Isn't that cool looking? It's some sort of, I don't know, like a... Oh, it is St. Louis?
Oh.
Look at that.
What is that?
The
Botanical Garden.
Botanical Gardens in St. Louis, Missouri. Des, yesterday I announced that Missouri's the state I'm going to go explore.
Are you going to add this one?
I might as well.
To the list, or stop there?
Sharon is our guest. Sharon, I've been to all 50 states, and now I take a week and go just drive around one state, get to know the whole state. So Des is very jealous, and I think she's going to copy me one of these years.
Yes, when
Except
all
she's
my
gonna,
kids move out.
No, I was going to say when the kids are like in fourth grade kind of a thing or something, right? Okay, kids, we are going to learn all about Illinois or whatever. Anyway, welcome aboard. We get another half hour of this excellent streaming show that we call Fox 10 Talks. And it looked like you had a pretty fun morning out there.
Yeah, it was great. We were at Virtu, a restaurant in Old Town Scottsdale, which is just beautiful, really intimate. He has great food. Chef Gio Oso is just incredible.
Right.
And then we went to the Spice and Tea Exchange in Old Town, right at Main and Scottsdale Road.
Yeah.
So cool. There
Is
were
that right?
There was a wall of like 80 different teas.
Because it's National Tea Day.
It's National Tea Day, yes. But I was more impressed because I'm like a very basic tea drinker.
Are you?
Like sweet tea from Raising Cane's. That's about as fancy as I get. But there was a wall of different sugars, flavored sugars. A sweet onion sugar.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I brought that home to try. She had a salted caramel flavored sugar.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I have said onions make everything taste better.
Absolutely.
I get some pushback on the ice cream part of it. But yeah, an onion flavored sugar.
Hear me out on the sugar and why I chose sweet onion. We went to a fancy steakhouse once in Nashville, when we spent time living there.
Yeah.
And they seasoned our steak in salt, pepper, and sugar. Like natural cane sugar. So this is what she had. It's like a sweet onion cane sugar. I go, oh my goodness. That sounds like it would be great on a steak.
So
try it. It's so
that's
good.
so cool that when you lived in Nashville, you tried that kind of thing. Every time we're doing a live report from somewhere in Scottsdale, I live in far East Mesa.
Yeah.
I mean, almost to Queen Creek. And I say to myself, we have all these amazing restaurants, and I never take the time to go. I just pick up my normal sandwich.
No.
At Steve's Crazy Sub and call it a day.
And maybe that's your next year's New Year's resolution.
Oh, Explore Arizona Restaurant Edition only.
Ron has to try some other restaurants.
Hey, when it comes to exploring, a lot of people are going to be doing it. Memorial Day travel is happening right now. I guess a lot of people like to take both Thursday and Friday off, Des, and turn it into a 5-day weekend, the official start.
Take Thursday, Friday, and Monday.
Yeah, why not? If you can pull it off.
Yeah, if you can. Most people have Monday, right? I guess I forget that we're not the norm. Like,
I know.
Most places are closed on Monday.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing that I find fascinating. They're saying a record number of people are going to be traveling this holiday weekend, 45 million, of which 970,000 of them are Arizonans. And the majority are traveling 50 miles or more, because if you're hopping in the car and driving 50 miles, you might get to Tonopah. Of course we're going to go more than 50 miles. What if you got relatives in Utah? Or what if you have a theme park in California? Or, I don't know, you want to go to Texas. The thing that amazes me is gas prices are crazy. And yet we're going to set an all-time record for Memorial Day weekend travel.
Maybe it's because people plan ahead for these road trips, right? I think especially if you're taking a family, you've planned for that, and still, at the end of the day, it's cheaper than flying. So what do you say? We don't take that family trip at all, or we do kind of have to, bite the bullet on what gas costs right now, and not cancel the entire trip. But maybe it means one less dinner out at night, at your destination, or
that's a good point.
Maybe right. Like if you have one of those dinettes in your room or whatever.
And by the way, they are saying pack some extra batteries, bring along a flashlight, fully charged cell phone. Don't forget your charger. Somehow, every time I go on vacation, I still bring back my chargers, but I swear the charging cables, I'm always down like 2 from every vacation.
Right?
What
Why do we
where
have
do they
so
go?
many of those? Like, they're laying all
Because you know
around
you're
our
going to
house,
lose them.
too.
Hey, we have an interview lined up for you right now that we're really looking forward to. It's Sharon Tipton. She's with Cornerstone Healing Center. And Sharon, thanks for coming in and joining us today on FTT Fox 10 Talks.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And we wanted to talk a little bit about just the whole concept of, we have a lot of good news stories every day. We just had a story yesterday of a fire that almost destroyed an entire house, and neighbors are out there with their hoses trying to prevent it from spreading. Every day it's some. We had a story today about a shopkeeper who a woman comes in who's in danger and mouths the word that she needs help. Call 911. I mean, every day we have good news stories, but there are plenty of stories that can create a level of fear if you don't watch it.
Indeed.
So what do we do?
It depends on the story. Definitely depends on the story. But when we talk about common news, or it's more common now, those negative news, we have to sit back and process it before we get into a big ruckus about what it is or what it may be or what it isn't.
Can you put that in practical terms for us?
A lot of times we react to negative news based on our experiences from previously negative news. So our brains are meant to scan for danger. So our brains can't determine whether that's dangerous or not. It can't determine what type of danger it is. It just recognizes it as dangerous. So we start to look at things from a different perspective, start going down the rabbit hole of what's out there, who's saying this, who's saying that, where's the evidence coming from, where's the information coming from. So we start to get in our heads about what could be, what may be, and don't really sit down and logically think about anything else other than the possibilities.
So let's use a clear example then of what's in the news right now. It's been a heavy news week for us here, some crazy stories, but in particular, a hantavirus, and obviously the outbreak that happened on the cruise ship, and that could stir up a lot of maybe mental health issues or some of those, symptoms related to what we experienced in COVID. Right? So can you walk us through how a story like this may impact someone's mental health?
Oh, yeah. So our mental health, or our responses, our emotional responses to health scare crisis are generally perceived by previous experiences, and we call them trauma responses. You may not have experienced COVID as a traumatic experience or perceive it as a traumatic experience, but your brain does, because it was an event that we were unaware of what was going to happen. And so when we get news like that, our brains automatically determine it as dangerous, and we automatically go into a response system, and our nervous system reacts to that. And so when we hear news like that, we are affected by a psychological impression of the previous experience, such as COVID.
But how do you get real with yourself? Because this is one ship way out in the Pacific Ocean, and the odds that somehow hantavirus is going to come knocking on your door are like 1 in a million, I would imagine, something like that. What is the sort of self-talk that you give to yourself when you find yourself say, oh, this is really worrisome? Like, well, let's get real with it for a sec.
It definitely takes a level of calming yourself down, like, because you immediately have that trauma response, that immediate reaction, like, oh no, this is happening, right? So it takes stepping back and taking a minute to process that information, and then thoroughly looking through evidence-based information. If you're going to consume that information, then you need to ensure that you're consuming the right evidence-based information.
And so what are some good ways to calm down? Like, you know, what's the first step? So someone hears this news, they start, you know, panicking. First couple things we should do.
First couple of things to do is recognize the responses of your body. If you're experiencing panic and racing thoughts, you immediately need to disconnect from the consumption of the news, of that information. You need to give your body a chance to respond to it and to process it, to make sense of it. Over consuming that information will just continue to attack your central nervous system that's already activated from this information, right? It's already introducing the panic. So allowing yourself to step away for a minute and process what you've already heard before you try to listen to anything else.
If it's really bothering you, is it helpful, do you think, to I don't know if you want to use the phrase phone a friend. I guess it could be that. But like engage with somebody else so you can both sort of jointly calm down, and as you engage in that conversation, you realize, maybe I shouldn't be so worried about this.
That could be a double-edged sword,
Oh, yeah?
actually.
How so?
Yeah, because if you engage in those conversations with someone else, yes, it can be beneficial to share some of those concerns with somebody that you trust or feel like support you. But it also can increase anxiety now, because now you have two people
that are feeling the same way.
The feedback loop,
The
right?
feedback loop, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't say it's not a bad thing to do, to have somebody else that may share some of the same concerns, but it can go two ways.
Okay, interesting. Or we call a professional.
Or call a professional.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Cornerstone Healing Center. Tell us a little bit about that. It's located here in the Valley, and you know who you serve.
Yeah, Cornerstone Healing Center. We are a full-range treatment center. We have PHP, partial hospitalization, IOP, intensive outpatient treatment, virtual outpatient, which is really awesome, and then adolescent virtual outpatient. So we tend to clients who have mental health issues, substance use issues, and we help navigate through recovery with them. They even can step down to outpatient services and continue recovery as they transition back into society with their homes and changes and things like that.
There you go.
Incredible.
All right, that is Sharon with, as we just mentioned, Cornerstone Healing Center. Sharon, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. Time for a break now, and I like this
This is a
mystery
nice one.
cam, Des.
What? We got some, what do I call them, mountains?
Want to go
We've got
jump
bigger
in that
ones.
lake?
It looks like water. Look at the skyline, trees.
All right, well, look at your guesses. Bring them on in. right, we're getting some guesses in on the old mystery cam right now, as a matter of fact, Des. Brandon is like, that reminds me of Idaho.
Okay. I like what Louie's thinking. Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah?
By the way, also we should just point out that Linda is having her birthday this weekend. She's coming into town. Linda, she lives out there in the beautiful Gila Valley.
Oh,
at the foot
happy
of
early birthday,
10,000
Linda.
foot Mount Graham. Coming into town, she's like, I'm going more than 50 miles. It's like 100 and some odd miles to get from Thatcher into Phoenix. So
Well, I hope there's a chocolate cake waiting for you somewhere.
Yeah. But just don't leave it sitting out in the heat for an hour if you do get a German chocolate cake like I did for my birthday.
Why do you have an experience with that?
Didn't I tell you the story?
Yes, I'm joking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Ron,
I probably I've told
the
everybody
cake almost
the story.
melted and the kids didn't care because why would they?
I
Melted
know.
chocolate cake is amazing.
At that point, they had permission to eat it with their hands because they're just scooping up whatever's
The
left.
kids' dream come true. Cake with your hands.
I have to disqualify myself because I know this city, Des, because it's only like, I don't know, 100 miles from where my aunt and uncle lived.
Oh.
So I can't say any more than that.
Dang. I'm like, okay, give me another clue. But I probably still wouldn't be able to give you. Ooh. Oh, 100 miles where your aunt and uncle lived.
At least I think I'm correct on this, but.
Darn.
Okay.
Out of all the stories you tell, I cannot remember a story with your aunt and uncle right now to figure out where they live.
All right, so.
Ooh, is this near what? Is it near your home state? Washington?
I believe
All right, I'm going Washington.
Desiree.
All right, ready?
Well, okay.
Linda says, or maybe Utah.
Okay. The thing is, it's next to Washington. Do you want to guess?
No, I already opened the
Okay,
sheet.
ready? Here she
It's
is,
Kelowna,
everybody. British Columbia. There we go. It is a beautiful and super cool city.
That is really, there's a lot going on in that mystery camp. I like that one.
There's all these lakes
That was a good one,
up
Dean.
there, yeah. And my aunt and uncle, which, by the way, I just went to go see my sweet aunt. She's in assisted living now. She's 90 years old, but we took her out for a big steak dinner on Mother's Day weekend.
Yum.
My Aunt Jeannie. But anyway, when I was a kid, we'd always go up there. They had a big orchard, big apple orchard on one of those lakes right up there. It was super fun memories.
Oh, that looks like a nice city.
Hey, by the way, our poll question is getting a lot of buzz today, so let's just take one more look at it here before we check in with Dave. The president says the election is not going to influence his Iran decision. Should it? 18%, yeah. If gas prices stay this high, Republicans will lose the House and the Senate. 72% say no, it's not about politics, it's about the nukes. 10% say it doesn't really matter. Republicans will lose no matter what. Des, what are you seeing on YouTube?
And then 35% of our voters here say yes, if gas prices still remain high, they'll lose the House and Senate. 27% are saying no, it's about the politics. 38% say it doesn't matter. Republicans will lose November either way.
Dave, are we still getting some good commentary?
Always getting great comments on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Mark C. in Phoenix says it is absolutely a no-brainer that Republicans will lose both the House and the Senate in this upcoming November midterms. MAGA can deny it all they want. One pretty good indicator of this is Trump's very low dismal approval rating. Mary Schnuck in Phoenix disagrees. She says no nuclear weapons ever for Iran. They threatened to destroy the U.S. for over 40 years and have successfully killed many Americans and many others, including their own people. They were only a couple weeks away from having a nuclear weapon when our military first took action. Crazy people never stop. They just get crazier. Really interesting thoughts on both sides. Keep them coming, guys.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, we're going to have some fun now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Going to talk about some amazing music, dance, etc. with our guest here from ASU.
Yes, we're so excited to have you, Dr. Shola K. Roberts. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Of course. I want to come out and take a dance class.
Absolutely.
Please.
Come on out.
I'm a dancer.
Are you really?
Well, I grew up dancing.
No, come on. I believe
it's been a while.
I believe dancing is in all of us. We come out the womb moving, so I think it's innate.
I know, right? There's just something magical about feeling music like move through your body and just bring you life.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. Do you like to dance?
Yeah.
I
grew up in like the John Travolta Saturday Night Live era. If I could have his kind of moves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've all seen that old movie for sure.
Absolutely. So we're excited to have you. And we're excited to talk reggae. We're having a very exciting event coming to the Valley this weekend at the MIM.
Yes, most definitely. So Celebrate Reggae is taking place this weekend, May 23rd to the 24th, at the Musical Instrument Museum. And over the course of the 2 days, there will be a plethora of activities for one to engage and experience reggae music, from live performances, live DJs, guest talks that include individuals like myself, speaking to the impact of this music that has made its way through our global community.
And what is reggae? And, you know, I feel like so many people like it, right? We think island vibes. It just brings some sort of relaxation. It's fun. But what really is reggae?
So reggae emerged in the 1960s out of the island Jamaica. And it was a derivative or an extension of another musical genre called ska. And it often is characterized by its slow, polyrhythmic, syncopated 4-beat rhythms, in addition to speaking to themes that address Rastafarian ideology, specifically spirituality, resistance, and having a consciousness to the African diaspora. And so over the years, there has been even subgenres that have emerged out of reggae music, and it's just extremely powerful to see the impact that it has had on, individuals who are listening.
Yeah.
Tell us about what people can expect if they go to the festival, because I know it's been going on for years. In fact, I think we might have. Do we have some highlights? Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Over the years, there have been some really great performances, and people just come away smiling. Tell us a little bit about what to expect if we're going to head to the MIM this weekend.
Well, specifically, I can address one of the guest talks, my guest talk, where I am talking about reggae music as a lived and an embodied experience. Having grown up in a Caribbean household in Brooklyn, New York. Whoop, whoop.
From where originally?
Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, exactly. Having grown up in that household and being introduced to reggae music, and then eventually becoming a teenager and going to what we like to call bashment parties, and how it has impacted me. And then now as a dance educator, taking those same experiences to teach my students about resistance, feeling empowered, and this idea of joy. And so again, it's important to see how it has impacted those who are listening. Currently, there is popular rhythm that is being explored, and it's even forcing people to go back and do their research as it relates to the traditional music that reggae music once came from.
Oh, that's amazing. And how many guest speakers besides yourself this weekend? A couple handfuls?
A couple handful,
between the 2 days?
Yes, absolutely. More than 5. I know that much.
Okay.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes.
Well, what is it that you love about this genre in particular from this weekend, whether it be after listening to you or experiencing the event? What do you want people to take away from this genre with them when they go home?
I want people to take away that our music is not just for frivolous sake, but it speaks to a people who have been marginalized, who have been pushed to the side or often considered the backyard for certain individuals, and knowing that this gives people the voice to express themselves. I think we often find ourselves even more grounded and empowered when we are able to express ourselves and not feeling like we need to hold back. And one thing that this genre has done is given folks the outlet to do so. And just the joy and the sense of community, there's community building that's taken place with sharing the musical form and being able to be united. And you may not necessarily be from Jamaica or the Caribbean, but you have that same feeling. And so that's one thing that I want people to walk away with. The fact that we may not be of the same heritage. There's beauty and diversity, but we all have this universal understanding of what this genre can do to us as a people.
And I was going to say, in growing up in the Bronx, when you said, I grew up in a Caribbean household, I'm thinking, what was it like to grow up in your house? It had to be so lively. But how beautiful. I mean, growing up in New York, it's like the melting pot capital of the, of the country.
Absolutely.
But you're right, to be able to share your culture with other people, that's what makes it
and educating folks and, understanding why we do what we do, knowing that everything has a purpose and a function.
Okay, so Saturday?
This Saturday.
Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. Where do folks need a ticket to go?
Absolutely. So they can go to the website, www.mim.org, and they can purchase their tickets ahead of time. Tickets are $20, general admission, and you will have access to all of the activities that are taking place that weekend.
You know, the thing about the MIM, too, is it's constantly number one on the list of attractions here in the Valley, but a lot of people have never been.
Space.
So now you get a chance to really learn about reggae, and at the same time, you can go to the MIM. Finally, maybe you've been talking about doing it for years.
Yeah, experience
right?
all the different instruments. I've taken my son twice, and he's not even 2 yet. You know,
barely appreciates it. Barely.
But he has experienced so many different instruments that they can experience. And so I think it's going to be an amazing weekend. And I just also want to share that this is happening right before June, which is known as National Caribbean American Heritage Month. So I think it's just extremely significant that we are celebrating reggae right before we go into Caribbean heritage, American heritage.
Yeah. So did your son like dancing to reggae?
Oh, absolutely.
I can only imagine.
Right?
He's a mover.
Hey, one last question for you here. For students who take your class at ASU, but really knew nothing about it beforehand, what kind of feedback do you get from them after they've been and learned so much?
I mean, there's even more of a willingness and openness to want to learn more. There's a sense of community and joy and wanting to find out and experience more because, you know, again, our experiences are just not limited to our four walls of the institution. The food, the music, how we engage and talk to each other, they want to experience that. And so oftentimes when I just introduce the movement, there's an interest and an inquiry to study more.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that's the beauty in it. Yeah.
Sounds